Mekong River Delta, a focal economic hub accounting for 12% of Vietnam's total area, is abundantly rich in terms of produce. Its lushness has been constantly accumulated by silt sediment from Tien and Hao rivers, branches of the Mekong. Abundant natural water sources in the area are very suitable for aquaculture, which has a 15-year-old evolution history and gained important achievements for the overall development of Vietnam's fishing industry. Pangasius have become a common pride for fish raisers in this area, not only because of developed aquaculturing techniques, but ensured food safety and sustainable aquaculture as well. In order to create high competitive Pangasius products, it is important that quality, food safety should be ensured throughout production chain, from raw material production to final products, storage and transportation. In Vietnam, aquatic product processing plants in general, and Pangasius ones in particular, always have to meet strict food safety conditions stipulated by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, or MARD for short, which include prerequisite requirements in premises, equipment, and machines, and quality management program based on hazard analysis and critical control point, which is HACCP for short. These Vietnamese conditions are equivalent to international regulations, including EU and US requirements. Premise layout for Pangasius processing should be constructed to be convenient for processing. Packaging or semi-product areas should be partitioned into separate sections. Walls, ceilings, floors, equipment, and facilities should be made of durable, easy-to-clean, waterproof, and highly hygienic materials. All processing areas and food contact equipment and facilities should be thoroughly cleaned before, during, and after every production shift. It's compulsory that all Vietnamese Pangasius processing plants should strict HACCP-based quality management programs, including Good Manufacturing Practice, GMP, Sanitation Standard Operation Procedures, SSOP, and HACCP. The proper implementation of HACCP plan helps processing plants to monitor every quality criteria in the production chain. According to Vietnam's regulations, responsibility for food hygiene and safety assurance primarily lies in processing establishments. Competent authorities will verify and supervise the implementation of food hygiene and safety regulations of establishments by inspection of approval and food hygiene of safety conditions of processing establishments, inspection and certification of final products before their sale. This is a final frozen Pangasius fillet product. As consumer, I only pay attention to its packaging and expiry date. However, there are many other standards in the production process of Pangasius products. This plant processes on an average daily input of about 300 tons of Pangasius as raw material. Being located adjacent to a bank of Hao River, it is very convenient for it to purchase Pangasius from its own Pangasius farming areas and aquaculture households in the Mekong River Delta region. To control food hygiene and safety of raw materials, competent authorities have implemented the Residues Monitoring Program for certain harmful substances in aquaculture fish, including Pangasius. Currently, all intensive aquaculture areas are monitored in terms of harmful substances according to regulations set by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. The monitoring program covers over 40 parameters, including residues of environmental pollutants, such as pesticides, heavy metals, probiotics, hormones, growth promoters, restricted and prohibited chemicals and antibiotics, and microfungal toxins also. When deficiencies are detected, competent authorities will decide to suspend aquaculture sites from harvesting, conduct investigation of contamination causes, handle the offense, and take samples for intensive control. Monthly monitoring reports are notified to processing plants as basis for intensive control over non-compliant aquacultural areas. Together with the above control by competent authorities under the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, processing plants have also carried their own check at raw materials reception stage. Primarily, processing plants only purchase raw materials from monitored aquaculture areas with satisfactory results according to monthly monitoring report. Prior to purchase, processing plants' quality controllers are sent to farming areas to take raw material samples. Following the document checking of fish pond files and records, the quality controller shall conduct physical examination of the sample, testing for parasites, and send fillet samples to their labs. Raw materials shall only be transported to processing plant if the testing result is satisfactory. The transportation of raw materials from farms to the company is also supervised by the company. At the plant, the Quality Control Unit also performs physical examination of raw materials and records raw materials data for traceability when necessary. Raw materials have to satisfy the following requirements. Purchased from farms controlled by processing plants and competent authorities. Fish have to be alive, physically strong without any clinical signs. Such activities of processing plants help to efficiently improve the quality control of raw materials to the processed in the plant. It could be said that with a production volume of over 300 tons of Pangasius a day, the processing plants must pay special attention to its food hygiene and safety conditions. Processing procedures should be fast, freezing, clean, and processing operation should be fast for every detail. Semi-products should always be chilled with flake ice throughout production chain. Indoor temperature should always be controlled to ensure minimized development of microorganisms. GMP, SSOP should be fully and efficiently implemented. Quality controllers should supervise all activities of each processing step, especially control of water to be used for ice production, food contact services, personal hygiene, and other stuff. Water sources should be clean, meeting all Ministry of Health requirements for food processing. Ice should be made of clean water. Production, transport, preservation, and using procedures should be hygienic. Food contact surfaces should be smooth and clean, being regularly sanitized. Personal hygiene. Hands in contact with food need to be washed before entering workshop, after using toilet, or contacting with agents that may cause cross-contamination. Parasite check is an important step, a critical control point in Pangasius processing, aiming at eliminating all semi-products containing parasites. After being preliminarily processed, all semi-Pangasius products are subjected to parasite check on specialized parasite handling tables to ensure food safety for consumers. After undergoing steps such as slaughtering, fillet slicing and sharpening, semi-Pangasius products are fed to an IQF system with a temperature ranging from -39 to -40 degrees Celsius. During this process, quality control staff have to closely monitor temperature and time duration to ensure that the core temperature of product reaches or is lower than -18 degrees Celsius. This entire quick freezing process is controlled by a state-of-the-art automated system. After being frozen, Pangasius products are glazed upon a regulated percentage. This percentage may vary a little depending on a product type, but not exceed 20% upon MARD's regulation. Before being packed and arranged in cases, all Pangasius products have to pass metal detectors to ensure that there is not any metal fragments left. Depending on regulations of each market, products should be labeled with specific requirements. Labeling should ensure that nature of goods should not be erroneous without infringing on laws of Vietnam and the importing country. General information includes name of product, net weight, gross weight, manufacturing date, and expiry date. Particularly, aquatic products intended for export should be labeled with the following additional information: product of Vietnam, processing plant's approval number, lot identification number, and other upon market's requirements, if any. At this step, processing plants as well as competent authorities always take samples for random test. This is the final check before products are distributed to the market. Storage is an important step to maintain products' quality. After being properly packaged, products are kept in a buffer corridor of 5 degrees Celsius before being moved to a cold storage. Temperature in these storages are always maintained at -20 degrees Celsius or lower, automatically controlled and periodically checked by quality controllers in order to monitor their operation and deal with arising problems in time. Throughout the production chain, quality controllers supervise the implementation of food hygiene and safety regulations. They establish documentation of each lot, product's origin, quality, and any occurred breakdown, and their repairs during production. Furthermore, they regularly take samples to test for microbiological criteria. Sampling activities are done according to annual plans or randomly to evaluate efficiency of quality management system and processing. Samples for verification include industrial hygiene samples, personal hygiene such as gloves, aprons, food, water, ice direct, indirect, contacting surfaces, etc.
Mẫu vệ sinh công nghiệp, vệ sinh công nhân như găng tay, yếm đeo, các bề mặt tiếp xúc trực tiếp, gián tiếp với sản phẩm, nước và nước đá.